Well, everybody, welcome on back from that little commercial. Thank you, Prism Ranger, for subscribing. Remember, we're giving out over $2,000 worth of prizes during this tournament. So all of the support helps cover that, helps cover some of the outstanding medical bills that we have over here. It's extremely helpful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this gauntlet for the losers bracket round 4. Ooh, what games, what wonders await? What are the players going to have to suffer through? Well,
it's a lot they're going to have to suffer through.
Oh, Corn Dad, it's good to see ya. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I love every gauntlet that we have, though.
I feel like, you know, even putting them together, going back and looking, the losers gauntlets have definitely gotten worse than the winners gauntlets were.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and reveal. Here are the 10 games. Oh my gosh, yesterday they were so brutal, but I don't think the brutality has ended, because guess what? We've got Caverns of Kafka. The goal is to place 3 holy seals in the gate. Number 2, Chicken Little for Game Boy Advance. Beat the boss. 3 is Darkman. Beat the stage. 4, Fighting Street for TurboGrafx. Goal is to defeat Mike. Mike Uyama's in this.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, we had Mike in the gauntlet yesterday, and now we have to defeat Mike.
Well, good. Good. Goal 5, Infiltrator. The goal is to fly above 1,000 feet, shoot down a plane, then land. Little complicated there. Yeah. Number 6, Snulf 3 and Nulf. Beat the level.
Snulf and Nulf.
Yeah. Yeah. Goal is to beat the level. Stuart Little 2 is number 7 for Game Boy Advance. Goal is to beat the stage. I don't want to spoil what stage that is, but you all will love it. Number 8, Urusei Yatsuda Loom No Wedding Bell. Goal is to beat the level. I actually don't know what that is. That's going to be fun. Number 9, Fushigi no Yume no Alice for the PC Engine. The goal is to defeat Chuba Dog, featured as the sprite here. And finally,
that's really French Horn Dog. It's really French Horn Dog, but I'll accept it.
Hey, yeah, that's definitely a French horn. Finally, Wrath of the Black Manta for NES. Save 2 Children. Is this the one with the dope dealers?
It is the one where we're turning kids into dope.
Oh, yeah.
Dealers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I love it. This is going to be a very fun match to watch. I'm working on getting everything set up and looking fantastic. I don't see either of the players live, though.
I mean, this is kind of early for them, but I expect them to be live shortly.
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead and let them know.
And this gives me a chance to set up.
Yeah, actually, if you're okay with it, I'm gonna run away from the computer for just about a minute or so and be right back. So everybody, feel free to kick back and relax and get ready for all this beauty that we have on the screen.
You want to play pause?
right, I'm back. Hello, Gordon.
Welcome back. I'm eating dinner.
Yeah. Dinner's good. Okay.
It is. It's homemade chicken soup.
Ooh, okay. That's great. I need to make some homemade chicken soup. I told Justin I would, and then I forgot.
I made it in the crock pot. It's really easy. It's really good.
Ooh, okay, good. We've got a crock pot. We're in Utah. It's like a requirement for you to have a crock pot. You don't have they kick
the
you out.
crock pot is totally underrated. You set everything up in the morning. You set it on low. You go do your thing. You come back and you're mostly done with dinner.
Yeah, it's miraculous. It's great. Oh my gosh. That sounds great, but I think I'm gonna have leftover pizza for lunch.
I mean, that also sounds good.
Heck yeah. But I'll take homemade over almost anything these days. It's just, homemade food is amazing. And yeah, chicken soup. It's been a little while since I've had a good homemade chicken soup.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're running it in the crock pot, right, it's actually cheap to make. I think enough to make dinner and lunch probably for 3 or 4 days, right? Cost me like $7.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right, for myself and the wife and the kid if he wants any.
Oh, now
for like all week.
I actually forgot to check. Who was doing audio for us today?
Lauracia is going to do audio for us.
Thank you. So, yeah, Corndan, I know that you got a new CPU into your computer, a new graphics card. How's that all working out?
It's a good foot warmer, and it's completely insane. And I probably spent too much money on it, but I won't have to spend that money like for the next decade, so it's all good.
I love it. Yeah, I know that you got one of the latest and greatest graphics cards.
I basically said, I got a new monitor earlier in the year when, we started like work from home is going to be probably a pretty long thing, right?
Yeah.
And the other computer just wouldn't do much with it. I mean, it was fine, but not really that great. And I started having little bugs. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I got a big bonus at work this year for doing a good job. And I'm going to use some of that and get some computer parts. And I got lucky and got the CPU on launch, but I had to wait a little bit for the graphics card. And still got lucky because you can't find them.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't have the money. I've got to buy prizes for Ku5ogrande.
If you didn't buy prizes, you could have a new PC.
Everybody, you just want to not get your prizes this year? You want to pass? No. Here's the deal. There really haven't been chances in the speedrunning community too much for people to get prizes, and I really wanted to do that when it came to Ku5ogrande. So we have prizes, and I love it.
Yeah, and a trophy. I've been working on the trophy for Ku5ogrande 4, because as per tradition, it can't go out until the next Ku5ogrande is done.
I suppose.
But that should go out pretty soon.
I love
Probably.
it. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, just perfect. So what? Something weird is going on. What is going on with this?
I don't know. What, trying to set everything up? I mean, I've seen both of them. Looks real good.
Yeah, it's just my end. Something is weird. Okay, let me try this again. Excel, will you please save me? I don't know. Huh. Okay, let me just go ahead and push this live, and we'll see if it gets fixed when I transition it over. And no, Lauracia's icon is just like not there. Okay. Let me do this. It's okay, everybody. Don't stress. Don't stress out. Bam. Did that work? Yeah, all I had to do was select the exact same file again, and there we go.
Well, sometimes that's how it goes.
Stupid. Hey. Oh, yeah. I do need to update that. So Sorry about that. I'm occasionally just a little bit out of it. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Invariably, I'm going to miss something, so thank you for correcting me, chat. I have been corrected, and things look good now. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all that I need. So remember, if you have not seen a Gauntlet match before, the Gauntlet, both players will be trying to make as much progress as they can in 1 hour. And whoever is able to clear as many of the challenges as we get as possible, whoever clears the most, takes the victory. Well, the players are ready. So let's go ahead and give them a countdown. I'm hearing a little keyboard, just FYI, Ku5ogrande.
Well, I mean, with the new graphics card, I can run some different mic settings, and because I can have that clean it up, and so it's still learning my keyboard.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no big deal. Just want to let you know.
Oh, I know that my keyboard's loud. It's inevitable.
I'm doing the countdown, everybody. You need to spam all of your emotes that are related to any of the games here, especially Sonic, I suppose, and get your most random emotes as well. We've got a lot of ninjas. We've got a guy with sort of pirate-looking guy. I gotta fix one of those.
I mean, we've got mice. We've got chickens. We've got ninjas. We've got dope dealers.
Yeah. Okay, I am starting our timer because we are go on Poltergeist screen there. And it looks like we've got Chicken Little as... Oh my gosh, I hate the fact that Chicken Little exists.
Well, you know, this state is like beat the boss. You just gotta basically beat the eyes. That is how you do damage to it. When you hit the eyes, they'll close and then bounce around for a little while. It's stupid, but
yeah.
It's more a pain in the butt rather than anything.
Yeah, the goal is to just beat the boss. Honestly, most Game Boy Advance games I would probably jump into fairly quickly when it comes to a Gauntlet. Why? Because Game Boy Advance games tend to be less difficult. They're mostly made for kids. So
yeah, it's not that bad, you know, of a state. It's probably one of the more reasonable states in here. So I'd have probably gone with that one first. About the only thing that's really big about it, there's just a lot of crap that goes on the floor, and you need to worry about getting the two eyes on the bottom kind of down so you can easily attack the one in the middle. But when you do that, they like bounce around the stuff. You just have to be careful about what's going on.
We've got, I believe it's Alice in Wonderland in Japanese on the left side, and the goal here is just to beat the French horn dog. The music notes, like, it seems like they follow a fairly set pattern. This is going to go pretty quick.
It's another one that, like, once you kind of get a feel for the pattern, the problem is the hitboxes are big. Right, yeah. And as the dog's jumping around with the music notes, sometimes you just don't have a lot of places to go. I mean, you can see with Poltergeist, they're kind of in a real tight spot, you know, as they're kind of moving around to avoid the dog. And so, like, as long as you're consistent about it, you'll be fine.
It looks like you can power up your shot, though, and that is hopefully going to deal more damage than just your normal shot. It does?
Yeah.
I mean, considering that you can't hit the dog all too often due to the music notes, I'd assume so. Alice, flying away. Oh, geez. Hate to see that happen when you're just trying to have fun, you know, have a tea party, but dog murders you with music.
But Poltergeist just kind of figured it out, you know, right? You power up when the dog's jumping over, and right before it lands, you fire off, and then you'll be able to hit the dog. It just takes a while.
Yep. Okay, Lauracia still fighting this boss in Chicken Little. Yeah, I don't expect this to take too long. What I do expect to be a little bit difficult, Darkman is always very hard. Fighting Street, I don't recall too much about that.
Fighting Street's not bad, but the way to look at Fighting Street is literally Street Fighter.
Oh, okay.
Like the first one, not Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter.
Ah. In that case, I would probably hop over to that. I'd give that a shot pretty early. Infiltrator, I'm a little bit concerned about it. Whenever you have to fly planes in an NES game, you should worry.
Yeah, and I mean, so in all honesty, the Infiltrator state actually went through a lot of refinement. That at first it was just shoot down a plane, and it's kind of one of those that either it goes really fast or it doesn't at all.
Yes.
Right, and multiple GMs completed it in like 30 seconds.
Okay.
So now the difficulty isn't going to be in flying the plane, it's going to be in landing, right? Because what a lot of people did in testing, it was crashed it.
Yeah, I like it.
So you have to be real careful with that. So we actually gave them guidance on when they're done, when they're at 0 altitude and the screen's not flashing. Right, they've done it.
Yeah, gotcha. Lauracia is struggling a little bit with this boss, just taking a while to get through it. Not really too much of a surprise, I think. It's, like you said, it's an annoying boss. You just gotta take your time, you know? Don't try to rush this.
I kind of liken it to, you know, it's like playing, like World of Warcraft or FF14, right? Stay out of the crap on the no, but seriously, like stay out of the crap on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Watch for when the mechanics are coming, right? You know, because it pretty well telegraphs what's going on, right? When the eyes turn red, the lasers are going to come, right? Before the eyes like come off after you, they're going to, you know, spin off. So once you know kind of everything that's going on, it's doable. You just have to watch the crap that's on the ground.
Yeah, watch for the AoEs and dodge the other stuff as it comes. Yeah, tanking damage is not going to help. Chicken Little, he's not a tank. Look at him. A giant egghead. And Polterghost takes down the boss. French Horn Dog is no more. Bam! That is one state completed. Now we've got Wrath of the Black Manta. Oh, it's this stage. I love this stage.
Yeah, where we're gonna save 2 kids from being turned into dope dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goal here is to save 2 children, so it's gonna be a little while before we see the children because we've got this auto-scrolling kite section. Oh, I like this stage.
But like it's awful because you know when you inevitably fail the children, you have to go through an auto scroller all over again.
Yeah,
right. Which kind of it makes it a punishing gauntlet state in a way because like if you fail later, right? Like it's not like I can learn from this, you know, and then like do something better. Like I can with Chicken Little. If I fail the Chicken Little state, right? I can start thinking about like, you know. Like what are the I-beams I have to worry about, like stuff like that, right? Like this, like you get through this and you fail later, you're still like 2 minutes down no matter what.
Yeah, you're going to have to deal with the fact that yes, you will be going back to like what is it? Going back to about a minute-long auto-scroller. Minute for sure will be going down the sink, and you still probably don't know where the children are. They're in the doors, luckily. And it looks like Polterghost knows more or less what to do. There's one rescued. Yeah,
I mean, I think that, like, I'd have done the first thing, too. Well, hey, let me try going in the door and seeing what we get, right?
Oh, death right away in the door. Luckily, there are enough extra lives that is not a huge deal. Unfortunately, that door did not have a hiding child. Gonna have to go find a different one.
Yeah, Lauracia seems to be really struggling. You know, he's really struggling with those eye laser tells. As soon as it goes to that orange, like, run away.
Yes. What if Lauracia's colorblind?
Well, okay, so when it changes from whatever it is, right? Like it's a Game Boy Advance, they do some of these things by like the checkerboard patterns. So when it goes to a checkerboard pattern, like you can still, so in some ways you can still kind of
Yeah,
pick up
you can
on
still
what's going
tell
on.
with the checkerboard.
Yeah. Well, I think Poltergeist here in a minute, right? I think that's 2. That was 2, yeah.
Very nice. The kids have been saved from the wrath of Black Manta. Poltergeist at 2 states cleared, and now it's time for some Chicken Little.
Yep. I find it interesting that both of them went to Chicken Little early, but I think you might be right on it. Like, it's a Game Boy Advance game. How bad can it be?
I don't know. This bad. I honestly feel like if there is not a time limit, you just need to take your time, because going slow and steady is always going to be faster than dying over and over again. You know, each death is costly. You can probably die 1 or 2 times on a boss fight like this and not worry too much, but once you start getting higher than 2 deaths, it's something to sort of consider that, you know, maybe it would be worth switching to something else, or just being more careful when it comes to the boss patterns.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, it's going to come down to, does Lauracia feel like he's making progress, right? Like, I think if I were in this and I felt like I was making progress, right, like the mechanics are getting better and stuff like that, like given everything here, right, especially knowing some of the games that have been in the Gauntlet so far, right, where we've had some Gauntlets it's like 7 or 8 completed, and some Gauntlets it's like 2 and 3.
Yep.
Maybe I'll stick with it if I thought I could get it cleared.
Was this boss in the Chicken Little movie?
Probably not. I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch the Chicken Little movie.
Yeah, same. I'm an adult. I'm not sure I was an adult when it came out, but I felt more mature than needing to watch this.
You know, if your sister's in chat, maybe she would know.
Now, here's a thing, you know, if somebody does switch out of this game and decide to try a different state, that's okay, because they can just come back later anyway to try it again. Oh, that was so close to beating the boss.
Yeah,
that was so close.
With that amount of like being close there, I think I would keep with this state.
But Poltergeist just dying right there. Yeah, I think one more try, it's gonna do it.
Or you're just gonna get close. I think, right, the difficulty for Lauracia there, right, was he had all 3 eyes with lasers.
Yeah, but at that point, just stand far away. Take your time. Don't get hit. Like, the biggest thing is don't get hit. Yes, there's a lot going on, but take your time. And when the lasers do a checkerboard pattern, just make sure you aren't standing where you were at the beginning. Or if you go to the very far left or far right, you won't get hit at all.
Oh, man. I thought he was going to get it.
Oh, Darkman time.
Oh, this one is the Chinatown level.
Oh, no. Oh, Chinatown is
all right, so his,
hard.
like, yeah, it is. His special ability here is that, like, that crazy jump, right, when he's in this particular setup. And so that jump is huge. It's super tall. All of that. It's great. The other problem is, it becomes really slippery.
Honestly,
like,
Darkman is one of the most difficult NES games to play, in my opinion. It's so hard. Poltergeist is going to be clearing Chicken Little right here in a second, by the way. Now, the thing with Gauntlets is that sometimes certain games do work for certain people. You got to figure out what is going to be your jam. And if Chicken Little is your jam, then congratulations.
Ooh, it could get close here, right? Because Okami made a good point in chat that the boss gets a lot more aggressive the lower his health is, and so now that now that Polterghost is way outside, right? You can see they're firing the lasers all the time, and there's probably only like 1 or 2 hits left. So you if this were me, I might actually try like going in there and eating a laser, right, to get the iframes.
Yeah. Oh, come on! Just there. One
Just like
eyes
that,
down.
yep.
One eyes down. Okay. And they're on a cycle. There we go. Chicken Little has killed that.
Whatever that was.
3 states down for Polterghost. Very nice. Yeah, Lauracia, I think, is making a wise decision going, not going with Darkman and switching to something else. Now, Polterghost hopping into Stuart Little. This level is a little annoying because it's an auto-scroller.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Because you're going down and coming back up, right? And an auto-scroller going down the sink.
Yep, and it looks like Polterghost is having a rave party here.
Well, you know, if you were a human that was somehow mysteriously turned into a mouse or something, I don't know the whole lore behind Stuart Little.
No, he's just a teenage mouse, okay? I think. He got adopted.
You know,
he had human parents who died, and then I don't know.
Either way, here we go. Cadis makes Stuart Little is a human child who was born identical to a mouse in shape.
So he is like, DNA-wise, is he a human?
I assume so.
Okay. That doesn't really help.
I know, there's actually more questions than answers now. But I mean, I think if you were a human mouse hybrid and had nothing better to do, you would go on a rave down the sink too.
Okay, so yeah, it's a mouse-like human boy. I like that excuse. Just the book is a realistic and fantasy story about a mouse-like human boy named Stuart Little. According to the first chapter, he looked very much like a rat/mouse in every way. He might just be a mouse, okay? He might be a mouse.
You know, I mean, that kind of still brings up questions, right? If he has parents who I assume, you know, gave birth to him, right? Like human parents. If I were his dad, I would have questions.
Well, I mean, like Tom Thumb, that happened as well, or Thumbelina, any of the.
But at least Thumbelina just looks like tiny.
And what about the Finger family, huh?
Well, I mean, are they just fingers? If they're just fingers, I might have questions too.
I think they're just fingers, Gordon.
All right, I have questions, right?
Yeah, so do I.
Also, I agree with Cadis here. I'm a little concerned about this drain. I mean,
yeah. So,
one, why are people like barfing into it?
Yeah, the
and
plumber
two,
definitely did this wrong.
I'll tell you what, right? I mean, I own a house, right? And my kitchen sink does not have like a 12-inch pipe going down 50 feet into bedrock.
He's not a human-sized mouse. He's just a mouse-sized human.
Right, but so, you know, like, let's assume that the inlets coming in are like 3-inch pipe, right? You know, which is pretty typical for like drain pipe, right? Like in your house, right? You know, that means like the diameter of this thing is like at least a foot.
Oh yeah, this is like what cities would use for sewers, you know. At least, like, in residential areas, you know, you're going to have sewer pipes about this thickness. So the fact that your sink connects directly to a sewer pipe, that's probably a sign that you bought a cursed house.
Well, right. I mean, that's my point. So, Lauracia looks like he's got a good handle on what he's supposed to be doing here.
Oh no, Polterghost! Hurry, I'm slipping! Oh, actually, that's good. Polterghost is through. Gonna have to ascend now. Yeah, there we go. I love that your only weapon is a flashlight. Oh, the pacifist Stuart Little. Could have brought some brass knuckles, punch the spiders in the nose.
Could have. Instead, we're just shining the light on the darkness.
Yeah. Lauracia is sticking with this fight. I think that's a fair strategy. Honestly, this fight is pretty learnable. Oh my gosh. That end, it's just kind of an awesome fight anyway. Like, anytime you get to have a French horn in a video game, it's great. Lauracia's not really figuring this out. Like, I'm kind of surprised. Lauracia has been struggling today. This is a loser's bracket match as well, so, you know, they need to start clearing states relatively soon. Polterghost has a strong lead.
Yeah, no, 3-0 isn't insurmountable, right? I mean, we've definitely had Gauntlets come back like that, right?
Yes.
But you know, that's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one.
Art of Spider. My favorite art.
Not your favorite art isn't Art of Missiles?
That's a pretty good art, too. Yeah, they wouldn't let me do that art at the university, though. Like, nope. I'm like, how about spiders, then? And they're like, yeah, okay, I guess. Hey, Stuart Little is cleared on the left. Yeah, a little bit of a nasty auto-scroller, but we are 4-0 right now. Polter doing pretty dang well. Art of the Fire Ring. Yeah, Lauracia is having a hard time figuring out what to do here. What you have to do is kill one of these kite men, specifically with the red clothes. When you kill them, you are able to get their kite. Of course, with this game, it may be a little bit more difficult if you've never seen or played it before. Now, most of the time we do expect that people haven't played the games in Ku5ogrande, but when it comes to the Gauntlet, having prior game knowledge is actually to your advantage.
And I mean,
game.
Right, there are a lot of games that are you know, like identify, like there are green kite guys and there were red kite guys, you know, so you gotta all this. But yeah, we have the stupid school whatever game, and then Snulf and Nulf.
Yeah. Ooh, and there, Polterghost dying to Robotnik. Not too much of a surprise. It's Snulf is a hard enough game anyway.
Yep. Actually, Knuckles does make it easier because you can do the Knuckles glide mode.
Yeah, that's what it's looked like. Ooh, unfortunately, Polterghost into the boss with no extra rings here. That's going to make this a little bit of a challenge. Actually, very much of a challenge. Lauracia hopping over as well. What is Snulf? Snulf
Sonic
is
Golf.
Sonic Golf. Somebody edited the Sonic games in order to add golf in. So that's pretty cool.
And recently, right, you know, because we've joked about it, we've had Snulf on Ku5ogrande before.
Oh no!
And the comment out of it.
Is that a soft lock?
I don't know.
Oh no, you can mulligan. Okay.
Yeah, there is a mulligan. But so I know a couple of us are talking about it, like, how great would this be to have Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Right?
Yeah.
And the guy who did Snulf put this out like a month ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Something, I mean, so this is fairly recent, like to the point, right? And he's been really good about fixing it. There have been a couple things. I know Wolf kind of played through it one of the very first, was it only like 2 weeks ago, Liz? I mean, I believe that.
Oh, Polterghost dying. Wow, this fight against Robotnik is really way too difficult. I love it.
Yeah, it's... So, okay, I stand corrected. It was just before Halloween.
Okay.
So in some ways, this is the newest game featured on Ku5ogrande.
Yeah, it is. It's
not good.
I love it, though. It's so hard.
Yep.
Wolf is saying that basically you need a fire shield to deal with the boss of this stage.
Well, we didn't give him one.
Well, that's very nice of us.
I know. It's, we are super considerate.
Only the best of... Wow.
I mean, you can beat it without the fire shield, but I agreed with Wolf, right? If you look at his attacks, and that's honestly true of Sonic 3. If you've never played Sonic 3 before, you can get a fire shield before this boss in Sonic 3, and it kind of trivializes this boss because everything he does is like fire damage.
I like Poltergeist strategy, definitely taking advantage of the glide here. I think that, you know, if you're given tools to use, go ahead and use them.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Still not easy, though.
It's difficult. I mean, you can see there, Poltergeist, like any small mistake puts you down and you die. So you have to be really precise with everything you do.
Right into the spikes for Lauratia.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, that is rough. But that's Knuckles for you. Yeah, as Wolf is saying, you've got to do small jumps. You really just need to get used to not rushing at all. Take small jumps. Okay, Poltergeist getting some lovely hits on Dr. Robotnik. And it looks like Lauratia knows how to do the glide, for sure, so that will be helpful.
They're asking, do you have to start from the given save states? And the answer is yes.
Yes. However, if you die and there is a checkpoint, you're allowed to use those checkpoints unless otherwise stated.
But the checkpoint it gives you when you die here is literally right at the...
Yep. Okay, Poltergeist, I believe, has killed the boss, just needs to hit this. Absolute... Ah, there we go. And
do they have to hit the capsule boss? Yeah, you don't complete the stage until you kill the capsule boss.
There we go. This so far is one of the biggest blowouts we've had in the Gauntlet.
So far. Right? Author Blue's Gauntlet was like this to start too, and that ended up like 9-7. So
yeah,
there's no reason like
really
this.
No. Ooh, Poltergeist trying this game. Now, this is a game that Devil Ray had chosen back a tournament or two ago, you know. Gave out
I think it was in Ku5ogrande 3.
I think so, yeah. And honestly, it's fairly difficult to figure out where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. But once you figure that out, I don't think it's too difficult. It's just where are you supposed to go in order to get through it.
I mean, it's a port of an arcade game. I think it's kind of consistent. Like once you, I don't like this game, you know, personally, but it's definitely one of those, like it's internally consistent.
Oh yeah.
Right. So like once you figure out like, kind of how everything works, right? It's consistent from there, and you'll be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm glad Lauratia is starting to get some progress on this Sonic stage. Made it to Robotnik, I believe got a couple hits in, but unfortunately died. That's going to be the story until you really start taking advantage of the glide that Knuckles has.
Yep.
I feel like that's the key here. You use the glide, you're going to be able to get through it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good assumption.
Okay, Lauracia just... Yeah, this jump has been giving Lauracia trouble for, like, the entire match so far. Or the entire time trying to play this game, anyway.
Joel, if I do agree with you, the glide's probably a trap, but if you're looking at, like, trying to, you're gonna miss a jump versus that, like,
I don't know. Polterghost was able to use the glide to kill Robotnik. I don't know if it's necessarily a trap.
I mean, I think it probably is in the long run, right? You know, when you're talking about playing this on more than just a save state setup.
True. Oh, there he goes.
But it's things like that with Lauracia there, where he came out of the glide, right?
Wait,
then
did
it becomes
Polterghost just clear that one?
Yes.
Very nice. We have 6 states completed by Polterghost. That game specifically was, Urusei Yatsura Loom No Wedding Bell. Essentially, the story is the mall is on fire and you gotta get out. Here we go, Polterghost playing
or the
a
school
lovely
or
port.
whatever.
Yeah. Shopping mall, school, not much of a difference. Okay, we are at Mount Rushmore fighting Muscle Man here.
So here's the thing. This is Street Fighter 1. And it is real bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of amazed, right? And it's about consistent with how much the arcade kind of game stuff was different than it is today, right?
Yeah.
Like, as this came out, right, this was good enough that it got a sequel. Now, the sequel was great. This is not very good.
Now, remember, the same person who worked on Mega Man DOS worked on various ports of this game to some of the non-standard, consoles. So I believe this one was done by the Mega Man DOS guy.
Could be.
I need to go check my facts here. Hey, Infiltrator on the right. Well, Liz is saying the PC version, but he also did the Commodore 64 version of Fight Street, if I'm not... Or Fighting Street. Let me correct that.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to sort out.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Okay, back to Chicken Little for Lauracia. That's probably a good idea here. Honestly, Lauracia has just not been having a good day when it comes to this gauntlet. And, I can't necessarily blame the player because everybody has a bad game or a bad time every once in a while. Some days it's just not your day when it comes to a race.
Yes.
I do like this music though, it's fun. Like, if it weren't a Chicken Little game, I would probably like this music more. Gotta be honest. Oh, Lauracia is almost through the boss. There we go. The boss is going to be dead as soon as that eye stops shooting. And Lauracia completing his first state today. Ow. Very nice. Let me go ahead and get that marked. Oh my gosh. See, sometimes taking a break from a game will actually
Yep.
allow you a better chance. Yeah, we hear mini-corn. We like mini-corn. Does Lauricia not know that that was it? Oh, there we go. The game's over. Yes. And now Stuart Little 2. I actually think this is a relatively easy one.
I can do it.
I think in the grand scheme of things, this is the easiest one.
Yeah.
Back up.
Oh, it's so stressful. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, yeah, so it looks like the guy who worked on Mega Man didn't work on this Street Fighter. Sorry. This Fighting Street. I disappointed y'all. Ah! The spider screaming is so good. It's the best. By the way, we have not seen Caverns of Kafka yet, and I'm not really too surprised. I want to see it. I like Commodore 64.
It's good.
People are
but it's
terrified by it.
And especially partly because of what we had to put in, right? So it has a lot more complex controls.
Yeah,
because
you
it
put
only
in
has one
all
button.
the controls.
So we gave them all of the controls, right? Because it could be important. Right, but it looks...
Okay, Polterghost, I think, may actually complete this state if they can take down Mike. That'll be 2 rounds completed. That'll be a victory. Yeah, and there we go. Mike is down. That is another state completed by Polterghost.
Yeah, now we're on to Darkman, which is probably out of the states left, the one I'd go to next.
Down the drain. I can't reach it.
I mean, I would only do it because I've played Darkman.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the other one, Infiltrator's a pain, right? Caverns of Kafka, whether or not it's a pain or not, and by the way, it is a pain, but it's playable. But if you saw the directions on that, yep, if you saw the directions on that and loaded up when, oh, it's a C64 game, right? You are totally gonna skip that.
I think most people would, yeah. I might be tempted to give it a shot, but that's because I really like Commodore 64 games, and I mesh with them very well.
Same here. When Dana first gave this out as part of a 3-game pack in Ku5ogrande 3, I think.
Yeah.
Right. I played it to help him test, and you know, I didn't complete it, but I got decently far enough with it, and then I tested it again for when we did it in the Ku5ogrande Invitational.
Yeah.
And then nobody played it.
One day, Dana, one day we'll have your game. One day somebody will beat Caverns of Kafka, specifically the save state that's here. Today might be that day, but who knows? Yeah, I'm glad that everybody likes the screaming spiders. This state is just perfect. It's so dramatic for like a scene that takes what, like 30 seconds in the movie?
Something like that.
Corndown, there's a question for you in Discord from Polterghost. I believe they accidentally turned on the fast forward function.
Yeah, I don't even know what the... You know what? I told them to check all of their hotkeys.
I'm telling them closing and opening helps. Like if for some reason you activate a setting that you don't like, just closing the emulator and opening it back up will do the trick. Okay. And thank you for going and looking up the hotkey for doing that so that they know in the future.
Like, I definitely tell them to check all of that. We definitely had a thing in an earlier version of this that the hotkey we give them to load states also happens to be the one that shows FPS. So like we have directions where I'm like, check this.
Yep, especially when it's a match where you are going to be fiddling around with hotkeys, just going and making sure things are customized in a way that's going to work for you. That's always helpful. It is a little bit annoying to deal with, but once you learn how to deal with RetroArch, it's a very nice, customizable, and I think for me it's easy to use at this point, but I've also fiddled around with it a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, I think in the grand scheme of things, I really, we definitely looked at a bunch of different things, right, for what works best for us here on Ku5ogrande, and I definitely found personally that RetroArch kind of works the best for us on a couple of fronts, right? That is, we don't really think about. So, unlike BizHawk, like if you're setting up BizHawk for the first time, right, it still has all of like the task stuff set up, which is great for like making a task, but it takes up a lot of resources. And so for the most part, RetroArch, the whole front end really doesn't have a lot of resource. It doesn't take up a lot more resources than just the standalone emulators, right, of the same thing. So if we were to load up Vice, right, for Commodore 64, it runs just like Vice does with the same amount of resources. And we did a lot of checking on that to begin with. Where people struggle with a lot is that the way it's set up, and I kind of like how it's set up, but I definitely get that it's very confusing. That you set up a virtual controller and then you pass that virtual controller to all the cores. And it's so that way, right, for most people, if you're playing with like a gamepad, right, it's just going to pass immediately. You don't ever have to worry about any of it. Right, so for people like Ku5ogrande, though, who tend to play a lot on keyboard, it can be a pain. But the rest of it, though, isn't so bad.
By the way,
like once you get everything going.
We're working on getting another platform that may be working soon on RetroArch. And I don't want to spoil it unless Corndan is ready to spoil. But
I'll talk about it in a second. Let me get a message out here.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I mean, so I'm always looking to see kind of what goes in and what would work out for us. So people's comment, no, we already have Vectrix in there. PSP is already in there. PS2, there is a PS2 emulator. They just got PCX2 in there. It doesn't have full functionality yet, so I don't have it in. We're not going to have PC88, right, for people asking about it in chat. Not that it can't be done, but I don't want any PC88 games in here because you don't know if they're going to be porn.
Yeah.
Lynx is in there, but
Stuart Little 2 goes down, by the way, for Laurasia.
There be a version of DOSBox. There's a version of DOSBox that's being worked on right now, specifically for RetroArch, that will be more in line with kind of what we're doing now with DOSBox Game Loader. Right, so like you can drop the directories in and it sets it up to run. It'll automatically mount CDs and everything, right, and set everything up like that. And it'll give us save states.
We've got Caverns of Kafka.
We've got Caverns of Kafka.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, so the best way I can describe Caverns of Kafka is that it's Indiana Jones, right? Except kind of bad, right? Like you can clip into the wall and die just like all of that. So, there are issues with it. The goal in Kafka is to get 3 treasures into the seal.
Where's the seal? Ah, there we go.
Things
Elevator.
down the bottom, yeah.
Is this a cursed game? Absolutely. Yeah, everybody
It
here
is.
is cursed.
But I do love it. All right, so Poltergeist is finished.
What?
Man.
Totally gonna go for Infiltrator next. I can guarantee that
Oh,
Poltergeist
absolutely.
will not touch Caverns of Kafka until the end. Yep. I think.
Yes.
Jimbo babies. Jimbo baby. That's right. Lauracia dying right there. Oh, I love the audio in this game, though. It's so perfect.
Yeah, it's real bad.
So the one that Poltergeist is doing, what they need to do is take off, shoot down a plane, and land.
Yep. And they need to have an altitude over 1,000 feet, which they already do.
Good. Oh my gosh, I miss
that
old
sounded
games.
like the
The
bugs.
boulder!
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's a boulder. Yeah.
Well, but there was the bug, too.
I don't fully understand what's happening in Caverns of Kafka, and I don't think Lauracia does either. That is another game that, or another thing that has never been completed in a Gauntlet. Maybe one day, but today is not that day. But at least someone tried it. Ooh, Mike punching Lauracia in the crotch.
Yep.
Wow, what a jerk.
Ha 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 ha.
Michael! Okay, a shin kick. Unfortunately, the shin kick doesn't deal a whole lot of damage. But
But it's
Mike,
safe.
oh my gosh. Mike is brutal. Yeah, you gotta figure out how to do the Hadoken. If you can do that, then it helps. Gee, that was an impressive... Nope. That was a crash.
That was a crash, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we don't know if Poltergeist will clear it. Maybe today is that day. I don't think Poltergeist is going to clear this. Right, Caverns of Kafka is kind of rough.
Yeah, like, in theory, it could happen. Okay,
Yeah,
Lauracia, jumping back to this boss battle, I think that's a wise choice.
I think it's a very good choice, yes.
You just gotta learn the pattern of the music notes, and if you can do that, then you're gonna get this boss just fine. But unfortunately, Lauracia is having a bit of a hard time with that.
Oh, man. Body.
Yeah, pretty much every round Lauracia is walking into the path of the music notes, and that is going to make it kind of or not doable. You know, if you get hit every single time,
Yep.
you're going to die here. It's just, you gotta figure out how to not take damage in this fight, because the damage race is not gonna work.
And it's a very similar pattern across the board. You just have to be consistent,
Yep.
and you've got it.
Of course, you know, people struggle with different things, and it's okay to know that you are going to struggle with different things. This is definitely something that I don't think I would have expected to be this much of a challenge, but you never really know.
Yeah, it's always a difficulty with these, and it's actually one of the things I really like about the fact that we have 10 games in here, is that we do a pretty good job of kind of spreading the love of a bunch different types of games. So likely somebody is going to have issues, right? You know, with at least one or two of those games,
Oh yeah.
right? If not more. You know, and you're going to find some that you mesh really well with. And, you know, so very seldom do we see ones that, you know, you just can't get anything done, right? And that's because you're inevitably going to find something that works for you.
The exception is any game that Dana submits.
That's not true. I mean,
I'm joking. I was really able to deal with aliens. And I know that we had an aliens completion the other day as well. And like the state that he gave in a previous tournament with the final battle against the alien, that one meshed with me really well and nobody else understood it.
it was tough, but fair.
Yeah. Honestly, Poltergeist just... I think it's pretty much a lock for Poltergeist at this point. I don't see Laurasia catching up.
There's no way, because Laurasia has to get... Right, like, if Poltergeist doesn't get any more, Laurasia has to get 7 states in 10 minutes. And I know that multiple states of these are not minutes, just a minute long.
Yeah, it's pretty much done. With that said, you know, we still want to see how many states everybody is able to do. Technically, Poltergeist could get a full completion today.
As I said, I don't see it, right? And I don't see it because Infiltrator is tough to get a good landing, right? And then Caverns of Kafka is going to be Caverns of Kafka. And the game itself is quick once you know what's up. But until that point, right, until you kind of mesh with everything, it's a challenge, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we put it in the gauntlet knowing it's going to take a while specifically for that reason.
Yep. I mean, learning how a game even works in a short amount of time is always a challenge. But yeah, if somebody can figure that out during the gauntlet, that will be very impressive.
I mean, I think Laurasia wasn't that far off, right? Like figuring out what to do.
Laurasia trying to fight the boss here. There we go. Kicks to the face. This is gonna do it.
Should.
Just don't mess it up. Yeah, there we go.
And Poltergeist, that should be the landing too.
Wow. Yeah, Poltergeist asked if it counts.
Right, because what we said on here, right, was land maintains 0-foot altitude without the screen flashing.
Yep. Okay, Poltergeist only has 1 game left. We might see a full clear, but I don't know.
I don't think we will. I mean, I literally don't think we will. I think this is...
I'm gonna go ahead.
It's possible.
I'm gonna go ahead and be the cheerleader. I think we're going to. I think we're gonna see.
I would love to. I would legitimately love to. I just don't think it's gonna happen. This is a game that, right, mechanically is tough.
I would feel so bad for Laurasia, though. Oh, yeah, I accidentally clicked the wrong one. Laurasia cleared Dark Man, not Eye Patch Man.
But yes, I absolutely think, yeah, you only need, right, the 3 coins in here, not 5. So the flashing color coins, we got to get 3 of those. The seals down at the bottom for Poltergeist, so it's doable.
My gosh, it takes so long to climb that rope.
Everything takes a long time, right, in Caverns of Kafka, right, which makes it really dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, fell a little too far or got stuck in the wall. Poltergeist, there we go. Okay, can Laurasia fly?
Gotta pull back on the stick.
Gotta pull back. Not forward. Yeah, I always play with inverted controls. That's just the way that my mind works.
I can't do it. I cannot do inverted controls.
But you know how to fly a plane?
Yeah? I can, in fact, fly a plane. I mean, I don't have a license, but I do know how to fly a plane.
Like, normal controls just do not work for my brain. I don't know. Inverted for the y-axis is absolutely, like, the only way my brain can handle it. Hey, Poltergeist got a coin.
Yep, and then you gotta take it all the way down. There is a thing to,
Bleh.
right, so the guy's down here. I believe is where you put the coins in. It's been a while since I played it. So where they get
the boulder! Watch out!
Yep.
I think the elevator's dead. But
So that's where you would put the 5 coins.
how do you put the coin?
Well, let's see what I gave them for instructions.
No! The lava got you, Poltergeist. Unfortunate, but these things happen.
So, right, what you have to do is the fire button and down puts the seal in the door. Or puts the... So, we did give them those directions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Poltergeist is playing a Commodore 64 game. This is not the oldest game that we have had on Ku5ogrande, but it's pretty
It's
far.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Right, the oldest one is probably some of the Atari 2600.
Yeah, I feel like Superman specifically is the oldest game that we've had on Ku5ogrande.
Is that older than the Dragon whatever game that we had in one of the gauntlets?
Then I don't know. Let me see.
I mean, if we look at like games that have been in just Ku5ogrande proper, I would say Superman for sure, right? But if we're looking at you know, like states and stuff too,
yeah.
it could be some of the other Atari 2600 games.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me
We definitely
see.
have cores though, and I've never put them in because they're boring. For like Vectrex, which would be like at the same time or maybe even a little sooner.
Yeah.
So we definitely can do that emulation. It's in our current RetroArch build. We just don't do it because they're boring to watch.
Yeah. So apparently, Atari 2600, that for Dragonfire, that was 3 years after Superman.
Okay.
So yeah, Superman I think is the oldest one that we had in the past. Although Caverns of Kafka is pretty high up there.
Yeah, this would have been the early 80s.
Let's
All right,
see.
now go
84.
to the left. Yeah,
Yeah.
go to the left. Put your seal in the door.
Can you hold more than one seal at the same time?
I don't remember. When I tested it for Dana, I think I only had one seal at a time because I was just trying to like figure out the game. So I would defer to Dana's judgment on this.
Okay.
I'm sure Dana can, talk about this. Dana would know.
Yeah, Dana.
I kind of thought that same thing too, Dana, that you could only have one at a time. But I'm not sure if I only had one at a time because I just only ever had one at a time.
Oh my gosh, I really like the music in this fight. It's so good.
It's better than if you turn on the music for Poltergeist right now.
No, Commodore 64 trumps everything.
Well, when it has music.
Okay, yeah, when it's not going like... Yeah,
I've been wanting to do, and this might be a project for me next year. There's been kind of a resurgence on the Commodore 64 with basically new motherboards, right?
Oh,
Where
really?
you put in the CPU and the so the VIC-2 and the SID, and kind of like all of the sort of chips, the bespoke chips, right, for the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
And the new board uses an FPGA to give you like HDMI out and stuff. It's really cool. And then there's other add-ons you can do, like to give you like USB input for the keyboard, 1541 emulator, stuff like that. You know, so it's been on kind of my back burner to eventually kind of make one that, you know, we could take with us like a GDQ or something and just plug into a TV.
That would be awesome. Like, honestly, the wonderful thing about older consoles like the Commodore 64, personal computer, is that it was a lot easier to learn how to code for them. You know, you could actually make a game by checking out other people's code, because a lot of it is in BASIC, and, you know, you can modify fairly easily because it's a language that's relatively easy to understand. I think that it would be awesome to see more of a return of very simple coding for video games.
Yeah, and the nice thing with the Commodore 64 BASIC is it definitely allows a little bit more than kind of a lot of some of the other basic stuff, right? So because of the way the Commodore 64 works, you can still poke all the memory addresses and change the things the way you want, right? So it's still kind of basic, but it lets you have a little bit better memory access than what you would kind of normally have with some of this other basic, right? So you can push, or, you know, you can poke and swap things around for like sprite sizes and stuff like that.
Well,
like in just their simple basic.
You know what? It's time. We're done.
It is time.
Yes, everybody, we can celebrate. This has been a very exciting gauntlet. Some tough choices in here, especially Caverns of Kafka. Infiltrator, I don't think anybody expected either player to complete that, but Polterghost did. Honestly,
I actually did, right? The GMs were right. NPC and Mike both tested it and had not a lot of issues.
Gotcha. Hello, welcome on in, Lauracia, Polterghost. It looks like Polterghost is the victor today, so congratulations there. You did a fantastic job.
What the hell is this cave game, and why does it exist?
Because it exists because Commodore 64 exists.
Yeah. Go ahead and kick back a little bit, breathe. This was a lot of fun to watch. I feel like Polterghost managed to mesh a lot more with the games than Lauracia did. Lauracia, like, I know that Stuart Little, not Stuart Little, Chicken Little, whatever, they're both little, was a bit of a rough one to start with, but eventually you did get that down. What was the hardest part about that state?
I think a lot of it was just, I kept thinking that the attack took less time than it did.
Okay.
So I was trying to be aggressive, and that was the wrong play.
Yeah, I do. Oh my gosh, sorry. I'm waiting for my brain to catch up with my mouth. I do recall that you were having a bit of a rush trying to stay in there and deal damage. It's just that, unfortunately, when it comes to the damage race, the three-eyed demon, whatever the crap it was, definitely takes the victory there. Yeah. Polterghost, what did you start with? What was sort of your strategy going into the gauntlet today?
Well, I saw a few games I knew, like Darkman, and I tested out Snolf, and I'm like, oh, this is just Sonic 3, but with janky physics.
Yeah.
So I went with what I figured would probably be the shortest. So that was like the beat the bosses and whatever the heck Snolf was. I guess that was also beat the boss. And then I just went to games that I kind of knew how to play.
Okay. Yeah, Lauracia, had you seen many or any of these games before?
Nope, none of them.
Oh, wow. So Poltergeist definitely had a bit of a leg up. I suppose that that would definitely be an advantage. You know, the Gauntlet's the only place where we do allow people to have previous knowledge, and knowing a wide variety of games definitely helps here. So that definitely was a bit of a handicap over there. With that said, yeah, I feel like about halfway through Lauracia, you start really getting the grasp of things and clearing things. You got Stuart Little cleared, which I think is one of my favorite states because of the spiders. They're amazing.
I think my favorite part of it was the ending, where it was like, oops, ring's not there.
Gotta go back up. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, and considering that wasn't even like a main part of the movie, it's just strange that they decided to do that. Okay, so Poltergeist, I'm pretty sure that your Never Touch Again game is going to be Caverns of Kafka.
That sounds correct.
Lauracia, are you feeling the same, or are there others in that list that you probably wouldn't go back to?
Honestly, Caverns of Kafka, it seemed like the ridiculously jank physics on everything. Literally everything.
Yeah.
It seems like it might be like a fun speed game to watch.
I want to play
but
it.
Not play.
But I really like trash like that. You know, I'm very into Commodore 64 garbage.
Yeah, it's real garbage. Like, but you're right. Like, it's consistently jank, and so once you figure out how all the jank works, the game plays a lot better.
Oh yeah.
But if you're doing this blind, right, and you've never seen the game before, right, what you guys don't know, you know, the two runners do, but everyone else is the amount of controls we gave them for this game.
Oh my gosh. Hey y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste into Twitch chat. And this is going to be the ugliest mess you have ever seen, because I'm not gonna format it at all. Oh, guess what? Never mind. I can only post like half of it.
Hold on, I got you covered.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, go for it, Corndid. Yeah, it's a very short game if you know what you're doing, but it is kind of a nightmare. Well, thank you both so much for playing. Poltergeist, congratulations on your victory. You know, honestly, I was shocked how many you cleared. Lauracia, he cleared 9 states. It was ridiculous.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. Poltergeist, like, just demolished this, and I
That's
have no
how these
idea
things
how.
go sometimes.
Yeah. Some days you get games that just really work for you, and some days you don't. And Poltergeist definitely, I don't know, just meshed with this gauntlet. So congratulations, Lauracia. I'm really glad you joined. I'm sad to see you eliminated, but we do need words for your headstone. Do you have any last words?
Yeah, everybody should play Demon King Chronicle. It's also a very janky RPG Maker game, but I think that if you appreciate jank, you could appreciate it.
Demon King, is that where your icon's from?
Yes, it's also where the mimic that I use is from.
Okay, I feel like I like bad RPGs, so I might have to give that a shot. Okay, you're gonna have to remind me. Demon King Chronicle playthrough. Look, I like the Demon Rush. Demon King has to be somewhat similar. Everyone should play Demon King Chronicle. There we go. There are the words on the headstone. Hit me up, by the way, for prizes later on. You'll get up to $25 of games on Steam, as well as Rift Tracks, Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. Absolute hit, you know. That Ice Cream Bunny, I tell you what. I don't know why there's an Ice Cream Bunny, but he's there. Thank you both so much. Corn Dad, thank you for joining me for commentary. I hope you
I'll be here for the next one too.
Yes, we get more Corn Dad. Lauracia, Poltergeist, thank you both. And I'll see you later.
Thank you all.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, Corn Dan. What a gauntlet, you know. Very difficult games in there, but still, it was an impressive watch. We've got one more gauntlet coming today, though, and
We do.
I want everybody to know that this is a lot of fun for us, and honestly, I greatly appreciate all of those who are supporting the stream and helping out through subscriptions and such to cover the prizes that we give out this year. Huge thank you to everybody. Let's go ahead and run to a quick ad, and I will do some setup. Be back soon. Oh my gosh, yeah, the music that's playing right now is Stargazer's music, so, you know, only the best. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
I mean, the title screen actually has really good music. I love it. Do 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 do. Okay, I'm just working on getting everything put in the right place so that we can do the reveal here. So be patient, everybody. We're still running commercials.